totally cut off.
It's all on me. Hi, this is Jenna. We can't wait to talk about Britney. Why are you touching everything so much, Heather? It's all on me. You need to turn it to you. Like, by a lot more to the left. Go that way.
But you're not even going to be in it.
I am
now
in it. Okay, now right here. Okay, so we are talking about Britney Spears, The Woman in Me, Chapter 29.
Chapter 29. It's now January 2028.
No, 2008.
What did I say?
2028. You're from the future.
I'm from the future. Welcome back.
So, it's, picture this. I'll do this exactly how I did it last time.
Do it.
Picture this. A warm winter day in January 2008. That was all. So she was hospitalized. She's all alone. And yes, she was taking a lot of Adderall, but like really shouldn't have a problem.
She was hell on wheels.
Yep. She was mad at Kevin for wasting her time. And he really like just taking everything from her and then turning on her. She was just like angry. She's mad at the world. She's just like, what the fuck? I gave you my all. I gave you 2 children. I supported your stupid rap career. And now you're going to just leave and fuck me over left and fucking right? No. This is bullshit. So she started dating a photographer, aka paparazzi.
Who she says was a former paparazzi, right?
Uh-huh.
But then later she just says he's a photographer. Like she was trying to make him not sound as slimy and weird as he was.
I definitely like. I've theories about that. Like, what if he was just like with her to get like good pictures, and then was giving those good pictures to his friends for like finder's fees? And what if he was a mole?
I just remember him
undercover.
I remember him from back then, and I remember thinking the entire time the guy was just using her because he was a paparazzi.
Yeah, he's paparazzi.
He gets to date Britney Spears. He's going to get all the exclusive everything first. And I thought he was just using her for stories.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. But anyways.
She was infatuated with him, though.
She was. And she, like, helped her when but paparazzi would get all aggressive. He'd be like, back up, defend her. And, but
you gotta think the other paparazzis probably hated him. Because they're like, they probably knew what he was doing.
Oh, and knew him already. They're probably always like, trying to get the best shot and like, like just pushing each other for the best shot. Like, eh. Anyways.
Yeah, I didn't think he was any good for her.
So the paparazzi ended up chasing him too. And they always, like, wanted her to look bad. Every so often, they'd be like, okay, cool, here, you look good. But most of the time, they just wanted her to look like she was crazy. She ended up driving with the paparazzi boyfriend next to a cliff. Mm-hmm. And the paparazzi is chasing her. And so she does a 360 on the edge of a cliff. And looks over at boyfriend and is like, oh, my God, we could have died. And, but she, like, never felt so alive. Mm-hmm. And I actually have a thing that I wanted to read, this little paragraph that she wrote, because it is a good one. So this is on page 163 of her book, and she says, in regards to this feeling so alive, near-death experience, as parents, we're always telling our children, stay safe. Don't do this. Don't do that. But even though safety is the most important thing, I also think it's important to have awakenings and challenge ourselves to feel liberated, to be fearless and experience everything the world has to offer. I bet that this is the first time that she ever really felt free. Like, okay. She's always been in a bubble.
It took a near-death experience.
She's never been near-death. She's never been... anything where, like, out of control. Something was not in. So she's felt out of control, but she's never felt it where someone wasn't in control.
Yeah, she didn't have the choice.
Yeah,
she never had choices.
Yeah, so this is the first time that nobody was in control. Not her, not her mom, not her dad, not anybody. There was nobody in control of that situation. Mm-hmm. where the car was in control. Like nothing. Like there was nobody pulling strings.
It
like
was
the car's
just the
just
fate,
chaotic.
however
and
the
whatever
car
it's gonna
goes.
go. Yeah. Which makes it so like freeing because you're like nobody's making this decision. What's gonna happen? I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, so at this time she was unaware that her photographer boyfriend was married and that Britney was actually the mistress.
Which to me, it's like, how does she not know that he was married?
Well, because
he's a paparazzi. He's slimy. He's a slime ball.
Yeah. So.
I mean, back then they were really bad. I don't know. Like
now it's not so bad, but
I mean, I guess
I would
depends
assume they're not,
on who you are. I know that a lot of celebrities still get
and the thing
really
with
bad
paparazzi now, right? The thing with everything now is that everything is so out there. So people like to get close to a celebrity, you just have to go to their Instagram, their Facebook. And they have pictures and videos of them at home, relaxing. You can get a glimpse into their personal inside lives. Before social media, all you had were these magazines. Or you didn't get to see, they're eating food. You know? Like,
oh, yeah. I remember it was, what was it? It was like, I don't know, maybe Star Magazine. And it had a whole 2 pages of like, they're just like us. And it's the dumbest pictures. They're like taking their trash out.
They're walking their dog or their whatever it is. But like I just remember
they drink water and they breathe air.
Yeah. No, there was one where it was like a tabloid that was or a picture of somebody and they were eating, it was like Katie Holmes or something. So it was a long time ago during this time. And it was like this person and this person went to a restaurant and just ate cake.
Oh, wow. That's headline.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like now that was the only way to get a glimpse. Like we don't know what they were doing on their off time other than this. So that's why it was so important for paparazzi to get these, not important because it really isn't important, but to them for their money, to get that money shot. Because now you want to see the inside world of Britney Spears, go to her Instagram and she bears it all.
The thing that I used to really like about those tabloid magazines is I always like to see what people were wearing.
I was thinking that too, what not to wear, or who wore it better.
Yeah, who wore it better, or just like to see what was trending in clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that's where you got, I mean, there was other magazines that are more like
style, Vogue,
and stuff. But you wanted to see what your favorite celebrity was wearing.
In real life. In real life, not on stage, not the Emmys, not the Grammys, but what are they wearing?
The day-to-day, everyday clothes.
Day-to-day, yeah.
I really liked that. And then I also just liked the magazines for the horoscopes, like in the back.
I know.
Or like page 6 where it was like the random shit.
So every time that I go to the airport, I stop at Hudson. And which is like in every airport here in America, is Hudson. And just like the gift shop, like candy, newspaper. It's like a 7-Eleven for in there.
Yeah. And
I get the Star. It's like, is it Star? Us Weekly? There's In Touch or one of those magazines. Mm-hmm. And I always have to make sure that it's the one with the 2 crossword puzzles on the back. Because on the plane, I do the crossword puzzle.
I remember this
I
one.
do the Sudoku. Yeah, right? She all got a normal magazine. And I'm over there like looking in the back of all the magazines for the best games. So like all the games, I play those. And they have the horoscope.
Yeah.
And then I was on the plane with my niece. And she forgot to bring anything with her. And so I was like, okay, well, here. And I gave her the magazine and a pen. And she was like drawing mustaches on like all the...
I used to do that too. I used to do that.
Knock herself out here. So what am I going to do with this? I was like, watch this. And I like made like little horns and shit. So we were going back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so magazines are great fun on the plane.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so that's something to remember when we do talk about the paparazzi with Britney Spears in this time. It's like, that's why they were so malicious back then, because to get that money shot, that was everything.
That was it, yeah.
That was all. Where now you can get the money shot off Instagram And most tabloids actually, like, use Instagram and Twitter and, like, their social medias and put them in the magazines. Those pictures. They don't even take their own pictures anymore. It's not like, oh, I got the exclusive shot. It's like, well, let's make a story with this exclusive shot.
They do follow around celebrities still, though, but
not to the extent.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where I was. Yes. So he was married.
He was married.
And she didn't find that out until they broke up. And he was also 10 years older than her.
Yeah.
Not that that's gross. My husband's 12 years older. I'm just like,
No, it's just a fact that she
yeah. So paparazzi said that that Britney was out of control. And she didn't feel that way, though. She felt like she was in control. She was just sad and missing her kids.
Yeah, she was beyond sad missing her kids because they were always with Kevin at this point.
And the married photographer, paparazzi, whoever, slime ball man, apparently he helped her with her depression and gave her, like, the attention that she was so craving and needed. And really encouraged her to be herself, all of herself, her crazy self, her any self, just like be Britney, do you. So she was her. She was loud. She's all over the place. She'd go to restaurants, line tables. She was just like, she said that she was just bad. And it's like, wait, you were just saying how great you were and you were not crazy. And now you're like, no, it's bad.
But she also said it was a very lustful relationship and that he did encourage her to be a rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wonder why.
He loved her unconditionally.
I wonder why.
And he was like, girl, go. You got it. Do your thing. Yeah, because he was married. He didn't care what she was doing.
No, and he wanted the money shots.
And he was married. He didn't care what she was doing.
Well, yeah, but I'm just going for that.
Anytime a guy just says, like, go, like, do your thing, have fun, that's always, like, to me, a red flag. Even though, like, in a way, it's a green flag. Because it's if they trust you like that, but on the other flip side, it's like it's because he was married.
It's because he doesn't care because he's doing the same thing,
exactly.
Like doing some weird shit on his own. No, like just you do what you want, so you don't focus on me. Go get fucked up. Bye.
Yeah.
So she said that she was bad, or maybe she was just angry, and that she wanted to escape. So they went to Mexico, where there's no paparazzi, no media, nobody like following her. Because I thought about this, and at the time, TMZ. It meant 30-mile zone because they would only shoot people like photography locally within 30 miles of LA. So they couldn't go to Mexico. They couldn't. So it's very interesting now that TMZ is all over the place, like everywhere, but in other countries and shit. But they used to only do TMZ. Was it on?
No, I felt like I bumped it and something was going to happen. Okay. So I flipped it over.
So they went to Mexico and they were just like free. And she just like felt like she's free, everything's great. And she's like, fuck, I should have done this years ago. Like, what am I thinking? And as she noticed that as her the boyfriend, the paparazzi slime boyfriend, got closer, her family was also trying to, like, pull her in and get closer, too, which is weird.
But I think on this one, I think they were right, because I feel like this guy was really a slime ball. I don't know him, but I remember from back then. They
didn't care about her before, but all of a sudden, she's getting close to someone, and they're like, oh, no, we need to control this shit.
But he was married, and...
Yeah, but they didn't know that. Or maybe they did. I don't know. Either way, Mom, ended up tricking Britney into going to the beach house by calling and saying, oh, hey, the cops are coming, or the cops are looking for you.
Because you're so crazy.
You're so crazy that you did something. She's like, I didn't do anything illegal. Like, why would they want me? What the fuck? So her and boyfriend went over to the house, and they both were like, something's up. This is fucking stupid. All of a sudden, helicopters are around. Like, what the fuck? So, the SWAT team, of course, comes.
It's always the SWAT team.
That's what I was thinking. I've
never had the SWAT team called on me. Like, how do you get the SWAT team called on you?
I've had the SWAT team rescue me.
But not called
on me, but called on the other person.
I had the SWAT team knocking down my neighbor's door for gun charges, but it wasn't my house.
Yeah. So she was taken back to the mental hospital.
Poor Britney.
And so it's totally like a setup. And between the first time that she was at mental hospital to this time, which wasn't that long of a time, her dad made friends with a lady named Louise, I assume it was a Louis, like Lou
Taylor.
Yeah, is that a girl or a boy?
It's a girl, Lou
It
Taylor.
is, okay. Louise, quote unquote, Lou Taylor. When I was reading right now, I was like, maybe it is a boy.
No, I know exactly who Lou Taylor is.
Yeah, okay.
It's a woman, yeah.
So she had just was like starting TriStar Sports and Entertainment business, and she used Britney's name to jumpstart her business, and she talked her dad into getting Britney into a conservatorship.
Yeah, for profit, basically.
Of course.
Yeah.
And conservatorships are for people with like absolutely like no mental capability, like they are so off the rails they might actually like do something really stupid, or they just can't even like fend for themselves. And this was just like not Britney, but what she was the cash cow.
Yeah. So she was highly functional, and she says she had just done the best album of her career.
Yep.
And she was making a lot of money, and her father paid himself more than Britney.
Yep. Cash cow.
Yeah. But she did all that, but she can't take care of herself, and she needs to be in a conservatorship where the point of that is they control your finances, they control everything, like where you live, every single thing you do.
So most people will go on a conservatorship for like a few months, if they're like in Britney's case, where she was normal and then she went bad. So then a few months, figure her shit out. She goes to rehab. She comes back to life, and then she's fine.
Gets her
everything
medication,
is done. Whatever it is,
mental health figured out.
But her dad didn't want that. He wanted her all to himself, not in a sexual weird way. In a you're my puppet, and you're gonna do what I want. You're going to be and do and say and everything what I want. I now own you. Conservatorship of the person, and he also got conservatorship of the estate. So both.
Yeah.
And one controls her entire life, like what she eats, where she lives, if she can even drive.
That's of the person.
Yeah, that's of the person. Of like every day-to-day thing that she did had to go through somebody else. And Britney tried and begged the court to like anybody else to do this. She's like, I don't care if it's a man off the street. Take anybody, but do not put this man, my father, in charge of my life.
And then also we have to be kind of mindful of his past, where he was alcoholic. Yeah,
and she already had to settle a bunch of his gambling debts and all sorts of shit.
And he was going through bankruptcy and everything else.
Yeah, and Britney wasn't even allowed to pick her own lawyer, which is, P.S. fucked up.
Yeah, but the sad thing about that is she did find out later that she could have changed the lawyer, but nobody ever told her that, and they lied to her about it.
I thought she talked to the judge, and did the judge lie to her too?
I don't know if it was the same time she asked the judge. I don't know at what point, but she did find out that she could have changed it, and nobody ever told her.
Well, why would they?
Yeah.
So her conservatorship of the estate was worth tens of millions of dollars. And Andrew Wallet was the lawyer who was jointly in charge.
When I read the name
I know,
Wallet,
me too.
I was like, is that what she called him? Like a little dig, like Andrew Wallet.
Yeah, I wonder if that's really his name.
But I think that was probably his
real
really name.
I know, I was too. So Andrew,
he was paid a lot too.
Yeah, Andrew Wallet and her father had joint custody and control, like conservatorship of her estate. And Andrew was paid $426,000 a year. And she was not allowed to fire him. She was not allowed to choose another person. Like, she just had to continue paying him. And Lou Taylor's employee, Robin Greenhill, ruled Britney's life. She, or Robin, whether it's boy or girl, this person, monitored Britney's every move.
And did you say how much the...
$426,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all treated Britney like she was like a predator or like a criminal, like she should be in jail.
all the while making them millions of dollars.
Hand over fist millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Britney called her dad about things in her life, like throughout her life, being like, hey, I need your help, I need this, I need your emotional support. He was never there at all until now. Now he's just all up her asshole.
Sounds so bad.
He's just all about the money.
Yeah. He is.
And her mom acted all innocent and played this part, but the whole time knew what was going on. They knew that they were coming to get Britney. She set her up. There was no warning. And she's never been a help.
Wait, wasn't this the one where she had a slumber party with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not to mention, she didn't just invite Britney to the lake house. She had a whole beach house. She had a whole
with her cousin.
Party.
There was
like
3 or 4 girls. Yeah.
Made it like, oh, we're gonna have girl time.
Yeah.
But knowing in her mind the SWAT team is coming in the morning for her.
Yeah. And then
that's crazy.
And then so TriStar, Lou Taylor's company, was supposed to originally be co-conservator of Britney. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine a company? Why would a company be it's almost like she's in a zoo and she's the show lion or the show tiger or the circus animal or whatever.
Well, her husband, Sam, used to call her lioness.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he would call her lioness. Everything was lioness. I think, he would post, when they were married, he would post... Well, I think they might still be married. I don't know if they're technically divorced yet.
Whatever.
But he would post things and be like, my lioness, and...
Oh my gosh, how funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was their thing.
So at the time when all this conservator started to happen... her dad was almost bankrupt and actually owed Lou Taylor $40,000.
Yeah.
So instead of paying $40,000, he pretty much sold his child to Lou Taylor and TriStar Entertainment.
Yeah, and she was gonna make a lot more than $40,000 off of Britney for sure.
Yeah, and moving
millions.
And then also, she jump-started her business. So, not only millions just from Britney herself, but all the other people that came under her because Britney was there. Mm-hmm. So, at the time, so later on, when she finally got her new lawyer named Matthew Rosengart, he goes to court and goes, dude, hey, judge, man, this is the conflict of interest. Mm-hmm. That judge, whoever originally did this whole thing, should definitely,
They shouldn't have even been allowed to.
No. Mm-mm. That judge should be,
disbarred?
Disbarred, or whatever,
I don't know, did they
put on suspension or something, because that's not, you have to, a judge can do, pretty much whatever you want. This is my courtroom, I make the decisions, whatever. And it's up to the judge whether, the crime is supposed to be 5 to 25. Well, it's up to the judge to decide if you want 5 or 25, Mm-hmm. They do take an oath of some sort, I imagine. Every judge has to take some sort of oath to, be unbiased.
They do, but I think they also get voted in.
What? Right? Yeah, I guess they have to get voted in, but, he should be on some sort of suspension immediately or something. Something should happen. There should be ramifications for this. Because he was biased. He did not take
Maybe he was taking bribes or something. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Something was going on. There's a whole, conspiracy with that. There has to be. We need to dig more into this. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that was the end of that chapter.
Chapter 29.
So, join us for chapter 30 next time. Bye.
I always think it's going to end by itself.
No, we don't have the implant to move.
X marks the spot.
Up left.
Oh.
Ah.
Why is it not going?
I don't know. Stop touching with your fingernail. Touch it with your...
It's still going. Yes. And